Welcome back to another episode of Podcast Twins. How's it going, Vince?
Amazing.
Vince, what is this that you've poured here? What's going on?
Well, we're going to start off this episode with a little celebration. Okay? First thing is my identical twin. He just had a birthday the other day. And
Thank you, Vince.
And so happy birthday to my identical twin.
Yes.
And then we also had, we're so twinning that my third grandbaby, aka G-Pip number 3, was also born on his birthday. So we do have a little celebration to have.
Thank you, Vince. Salute. And congratulations.
Thank you.
All right.
That's how we start that off.
Now that we got a little Elijah Craig in us.
Yes, indeed.
Another potential sponsor we'll be reaching out to.
Indeed.
You made a prediction early on in the start of our podcast because you asked me if I was a baseball guy.
Right.
I said no, but now I guess I am at least a World Series World Series playoffs baseball guy.
Beautiful thing.
I asked you, put you on the spot. I said, who's going to win the World Series?
And I believe I said it was going to be the winner between the Dodgers and the Padres.
You actually said, first you said it's going to be the Dodgers,
yes.
And then you said, if not, it's going to be whoever wins that series. So one of our comments, at least, thanks to you, aged well.
Yes.
Because it's over.
It's over. And the Dodgers went on and brought it home, man. What an amazing World Series it was. So for those who did not watch it, they're going to be replaying it on the MLB Network all winter long. Make sure you watch it. Unbelievable. It was full of drama.
The Yankees didn't stand a chance.
The Yankees. So here's what the kicker was for me. The person who you expected to carry the Yankees never got on track to the very end, which was Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge never really quite got on track. But the person who you thought would strike out every other time, Giancarlo Stanton, he was carrying them. He was getting base hits. He was hitting home runs. He was doing everything except running. When he was a Marlin, he used to be able to run, but his legs have got shot now. But going back to the final game in Game 5, when they jumped out to that lead, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, it's over!" And it was. They had the Yankees had the momentum, and I was actually hoping that they won that game so they could go back in LA and win it in Game 6, which was my first prediction, LA in 6, back home. But somebody made a capture online, and I wish I had saved that video. When Judge missed that fly ball, easy fly ball right to him. But as the ball was coming, the camera cut to him, and you could see his eyes looking back at the runner on first base like he wanted to try to double him off. And when he looked over there and the ball tipped off the end of his glove, there's cameras all over the stadium. And they showed about 4 of the players go from this to... And when that happened, the comedy of errors just followed. It was like you could feel the momentum switch happen right there. And I said, oh my God, they're going to drop this game. And lo and behold, what an ending to a World Series, man. So it was a good one because, again, I got to relive my childhood with the Dodgers-Yankees. I remember the 77, the 80, and the 81 series. I actually remember those. So having to come back here again now just made it that much better. Too bad Fernando Valenzuela passed right before. He didn't get to, come out and do his participation stuff. Hell, even the Dodgers beat the Yankees when they brought out Ice Cube to do his intro versus Fat Joe. Fat Joe, it was terrible. And I love Fat Joe. I was like, come on, man. You just got destroyed. LA just bodied you with the Cube out there, man. So, listen, they just had the momentum. It was going all the way through. Everything happened. And as I said in the previous episode, Mookie Betts got hot.
And they were the chalk pick, like you said.
Yeah.
And they won, right? The team that was supposed to win on paper won.
They did. And they won it. in such a fashion, but because the Yankees technically had a better bullpen, but the Dodgers play better baseball.
And, I'm glad we have these nice whiskeys that you brought for us to
Indeed.
celebrate, because there's something else to celebrate.
Uh-oh.
Because today, the day that we are filming this, is November 6th.
It is.
Which is National No More Election Ads Day.
Woo! I will drink to that.
Something to drink to right there.
I am so sick and tired of Amendment 3, Amendment 4, and this person is a snake, this person is this.
Which they're both right, by the way.
They're all right.
Go on.
And this person is dumb, this person has a low IQ. Look, I'm so sick of it all. Just bring me back regular commercials.
Today, just Pfizer every third commercial again, it's supposed
that's all we got to deal with is drugs, because we didn't lose drug commercials. They just added on with all this damn political crap.
That's correct.
So listen, if nothing else, national political, I call it the political off season starts today. So
I just made that holiday up.
It's the best holiday in the world. Better than Christmas. Oh my God. Woke up this morning and they was like, hey man, did you watch it? I'm like, no, I didn't care. All I wanted was the news to turn back into the news and TV to kind of get back to normal.
Well, I'll tell you, let's talk about getting back to normal. And you mentioned Christmas. What does the Bell family do for Thanksgiving and Christmas? What's on the horizon for you now that we're in November?
Jesus.
It's worth talking about.
It is November.
What does the Bell family do for Thanksgiving and then Christmas?
Traditionally, so again, as a fireman, it all depends on whether I'm on or off.
That's a fair point.
So this year I'm on duty.
Okay.
So we normally invite the immediate family to the station for brunch. So the fellas, we get together, we cook brunch, and we do that with the immediates. Then we usher them out pretty quickly, because football kicks off at like 12:30.
All right.
So we need everybody gone so we can kind of get into our football ready positions.
Okay.
And we watch games.
And then hope that nobody blows up their turkey so that you got to go rescue
exactly.
them. Okay.
And then usually when that happens the next day, either that day before or the next day, the family will organize it and we'll host either at my house or my brother-in-law's house. How we do that and yeah, but that's what's going to happen this year is that we got look, when you got Caribbean folks, when you say you're going to have a couple of people over, that means 30.
Okay.
Yeah, it's almost the same with Italians.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just going to have a couple people, and that starts at 30 and up.
My house is not big enough to hold just the family anymore, so we have to. I'm hosting Thanksgiving.
Okay.
But it's at my parents' house.
Right. You had to go where the space was.
So they have more space.
Right.
But I'm a better cook.
There you go.
So I'm bringing the proteins. The family brings the sides. And 30 is a small gathering.
Yeah.
You probably have right around
if it's
35 or so.
That's mild.
Okay.
It can get real out of control real fast, and that's with no phone calls being made. So but in this case, on Thanksgiving Day, I'll be at the station, and that's what we're going to do. So
that's cool.
Whether we do it the day before or the day after, and
it doesn't matter if you do it on Thanksgiving, it's still Thanksgiving.
I've been doing this 23 years. Sure. I understood that holidays don't mean a whole lot. Holiday is the day you pick to celebrate it.
That's right.
And so that's it. So hell, I call it all kinds of stuff anyway. Some years it's Thanksgiving, some days is Indigenous Day, it's whatever it is.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. Hey,
okay. So how about Christmas time? What about you got a Christmas Eve, you got a Christmas Day ritual?
Same deal. This year, I work Christmas Day, so we'll be at the firehouse. So we'll either do it Christmas Eve, which is usually what we do is either Christmas Eve, and then I get up and I go and do my thing Christmas Day.
What about the years when you're off?
If I'm off, then we do it on the actual day.
Got it.
And so I mean. And again, it's either in my house or my brother-in-law's house. We get out there and we do it like that, split it up. And then we have a cousin that we do for New Year Eve. Okay. Again, it's usually a pattern. My house, his house, cousin's house on there like that. But
Kind of like rotating Sunday dinners.
It's like rotating Sunday dinners because, again, when you're talking about having 40, 50 folks, because it all starts as a small gathering until it don't.
It always starts with 4 people.
Always. Well, we're just going to have it's just going to be us. That's my favorite line. Well, it's just going to be us.
And my parents. And your parents.
I'm like,
and great aunts and uncles.
So imagine if
the grandkids are coming.
Imagine if the Bell clan was not in Chicago. I have a huge family.
Okay.
So even like at the wedding, man, it got crazy real quick. So just, but again, it's a lot of fun. We do holidays. And of course, being as though I'm a Christmas baby, a post-Christmas baby. So I'm the 28th, which is normally my shift, but I'm off that day. It's my Kelly day. So at least I'll have one of those holidays to be off and celebrate that day. I don't know what we're going to do yet. And, but it don't matter. Like I said, I've spent many a birthday right there at the station. So, again, I make my own holidays up.
No, I mean, my birthday was on a Monday this year, and it was kind of like I got interrupted by texts and calls all day while I was just trying to do business as usual kind of stuff.
That's it, man. We just.
It was nice because it's like, oh yeah, you get a text or a call or whatever. It's good. It's a good thing.
Then you got to go back on your Facebook page and be like, thank you, everybody. I wish I could hit everybody back individually and.
Well, I had people wishing me happy birthday on Facebook. I have no clue who the heck they are or how I became friends with them.
That's the most fun part, though, for me. I love it. Listen, man, I've done so many things in so many walks of life, hosting parties and having people. And back then, I didn't have the foresight to create a business page. So everybody just signed up under my personal page that used to come to my parties. And they're still on my friends list today. And I'm like, oh, wow, I remember her. I remember him. They used to come. A lot of fun, man. But listen, I don't kick anybody off the page, man.
I hear you. I mean, we need more listeners, so I need more friends on Facebook, right? I mean, you said everything's online. It's all digital. We're gonna probably be robots in a few years, right?
If not, we will sound like robots, and I'm pretty good at that right now.
I mean, they're trying to make us robots anyway.
Well, I guess if they let Elon Musk do his thing, it's going to be like $20,000 per household, right?
Elon Musk is...
Did I open that already? Did I already go there?
No, you know what? But Elon Musk is an interesting topic all by himself. How do you get from Christmas and Thanksgiving to Elon Musk?
I don't know. You said robot, and it triggered. I got a trigger in my neck.
So Elon Musk, for being the hero online that he is broken up to be, is he really just the evil super genius, or what's your philosophy here with the microchips in the brains and stuff like that? Tell me.
So, are you familiar with the acronym DILIGAF?
I'm about to be.
Okay, so DILIGAF is, does it look like I give a fuck? So that's if DILIGAF was a human being, that would be Elon Musk. When you have so much money at your access that you don't care what anybody says or does or think because you run the show, period, point blank.
Sure.
You kind of have that authority because no matter what anybody else says, it's not going to affect you or your bottom line.
FU money, we call it.
Yeah, absolutely. One of my what they're saying.
His FU money has its own FU money.
And Goodfellas, what he say? Fuck you, pay me. There you go.
Business is bad.
That's it. So this is where we're at with Elon, and he says some out of line, off the wall things. And even with this, without even going over political, when he kind of threw his verbal support behind, I guess, the new upcoming president, it was just one of those things. And it was like, okay, as a poor underling, am I looking like, man, they're going to get together and make me rich? Because that's usually what a lot of these people believe. And they just tend to follow along with the top 1%.
I tell you, as far as politically, Elon Musk played it as perfectly as anybody's played both sides as I've ever seen. And what I mean by that is, he had the whole electric vehicles, save the climate, save the earth. He had one party.
Which is very democratic.
He had one party loving it.
Yeah.
And then he bought Twitter, and then he had the other party loving him. So now, it's not like all those people that bought Teslas sold them all, right?
No.
They didn't sell their Tesla because they still want to save the environment.
Absolutely.
Or allegedly save the environment, but that's another story for another lithium mine. But go ahead, Vince.
No.
Come on, Vince.
I'm going to go. Okay.
Go ahead, Vince.
All right. So, no.
Here we go.
He played the game, and he played it well. But, so again, you took care of all of the energy tree huggers because they didn't want to, buy fuel and all this other kind of crap.
Look, I don't like going to the gas station either.
Nobody does.
I get it.
But I also don't like to die on the side of the road because, I ran out of charge. So I drove
no spare tires. The thing that got me on Teslas. They don't have a spare tire in them.
Yeah, well,
like that skeeves me out.
Mercedes doesn't do spare tires. BMW because you have the run flats.
But look, I had a bad experience with a Mercedes.
Okay.
So I don't buy Mercedes ever again. You know how it is, right? You have you have a good experience with a brand or a company, you'll buy it over and over and over. You have a bad experience. I bought a couple-year-old Mercedes when I got divorced. Because when you get divorced, that's what you do.
That's what you do.
You buy a Mercedes.
Absolutely.
And it was really nice silver E350 loaded to the gills. That thing was back in the damn shop for more mechanical BS and electronic stuff than I've ever had any of all of my other cars combined go into a shop.
Sound like you caught a bad one because.
But I mean, maybe I did.
Yeah,
maybe I did.
Mine is I haven't had much mechanical issues with it.
The worst.
And I love it. I jump in that little thing and it just whips all around town. It's a beautiful little fun car. But going back to this,
please.
This Mr. Musk situation.
No spare tire.
But what he did is make sure that he has more charging stations than anyone else across on the way. And I did happen to look. That screen looks like my laptop screen inside of the car. And a friend of mine was showing me, hit the thing, and it showed all of the charging stations all the way to New York. Because I'm like, do you go out of town on this thing? He said, I don't. But if he did, this is the route he would take because he would be up all the charging stations. And again, he played, like you say, he played it well. He did the right thing and got all of this side on board, all of the blue folks. And then he was like, "What? You know what? I make money with this guy." And I'm, as we said before, the wealthy will sell you their daughter. It don't matter what color or creed you are. If you can help them make money, you can have my daughter. Go right ahead because we're going to make each other. We're going to be the power families. So you're talking about two folks like that. And hey, listen, I'd love to be. You think Diddy had parties? I bet you the parties they go to are 3 times as wild as the Diddy parties. Did we ever find out if Musk was on the Epstein Island list?
I think.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm just saying if he was,
the microchip in the brain is the thing that skeeves me.
We do know that.
I don't want anybody putting any microchips in my brain.
We do know
I
that.
I probably already have enough radiation from my cell phone and Wi-Fi and your internet and all the other stuff. I don't want anything plugged into my head.
Okay.
Is that crazy? I don't want a microchip in my brain.
They was already doing that with the earbuds and stuff like that.
I don't have any.
Okay, that's good, man. I use them all the time, and I try to take them out as often as possible. But man, the wires they get caught up in everything, man. The wireless is the way to go. It's so sweet.
Yeah, because we're being so active when we're on 100%. Our phones. We gotta make sure those wires are gone.
The guy did the thing that
he said sitting on his couch playing on his phone, right?
Unbelievable is how the difference between the radiation of the wireless versus the wired. Unbelievable. And I still have some wires, but but I don't use them. I gotta be honest, I don't use them. But yeah. So anyway, what blew me away yesterday? I don't want to say blew me away. Nothing blows me away when it comes to this political game. But I'm gonna say this one last point because we spoke on it before. And maybe you can help me out.
Oh no!
Yeah, you might have to help me out because
I need to call in reinforcements for this.
Allegedly, I heard that Joe Rogan offered Vice President Harris to come on his show. But they could not get because he just wanted a conversation. So he didn't want her to bring her whole legal team and everybody in the room. He just wanted her to have a conversation.
That sounds like every Joe Rogan podcast ever. Go on.
Absolutely. And so to my understanding, again, help me out in the comments, because they couldn't get the language together about who would all be there, she wound up eventually declining.
All right.
And I said, if that's the case, because again, I'm not sure. If that's the case, I felt that was a huge mistake on her behalf, because I think the demographic in which we all knew coming into this game that she needed to sway the most would be white men. You got Joe Rogan, the #1 podcaster in the country,
in the world,
that's saying, come on this show and I'm going to give you a full platform to help convert my people, which is probably 85% white men.
Look, it goes. I don't know.
Well, I'm just saying.
I think everybody. I figured everybody listened to Rogan.
What I'm saying,
yeah, it could
point,
very well be.
Even to that point, because you got to remember, you got the MMA crew, you got all of these, everybody's doing Rogan. And so when I saw that, I was like, ooh, that if that's how it went down, that could be a mistake. And then somebody sent me a thing yesterday, and again, I don't know how dated that was, but they was like, Rogan basically threw his verbal support behind the Donald,
which he came on the podcast, on his podcast.
Because again, I'm saying one would come on, one wouldn't. You almost were forced to go that route because you figured this person. And listen, man, DT would be a guy that we'd love to sit over there and pour him a glass over there. He'd be a blast.
He'd be entertaining for sure.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I'd love to.
People would either really want to listen to that one or really want to listen to that one because they hate him.
Either way.
Right, one way or the other.
It's going to be a draw.
For sure.
So, again, like I said, and not to harp on this political thing because, it pisses me off, but that I think if that happened the way they did, opportunity missed. The whole party deserves to bend over and get a paddling, get in the cut. If that's what happened.
Well, it's interesting because Kevin O'Leary said that, this is a good thing for the Democratic Party because maybe they can realize that they don't have to be as so far extreme. And the Republicans were guilty of it at times as well, right? Once they get power, they keep going further and further and further. And then the same thing happened now with the Democratic side where they just kept going further and further and further.
Yeah.
Where you had people that are card-carrying lifetime Democrats saying, well, wait a minute, like my dad, right? My dad is a card-carrying, always voted Democrat his whole life with maybe few exceptions. And I don't know if he was pushed far enough where he said, like, well, they're getting a little too extreme. Maybe it's time for something else.
Either too
extreme I thought that,
or sexist.
Well, whether you agree it or not, O'Leary had a point.
Absolutely.
Right? His point being, like, okay, well, you guys didn't even have a primary after you kicked your candidate out at the last second. You just basically said, hey, look, in order to keep the money, we have to use our vice president as the candidate.
But don't you agree that was a smart move, though?
Well, but I argue, it's a financial
move. And usually if it's financially smart, it's smart.
I would argue that RFK would have put up a better fight than Trump, than Kamala Harris.
I'm going to say...
I think he would have got more votes from people that were undecided only because he was talking about something that's core to everybody, which is clean food, clean air, and clean water, and not poisoning your kids
with
vaccines.
Yeah, well, again, that was picking a side.
Well, but I've been on record saying that until these choo-choos, and I'll call them what they are, in Congress, and we'll put everybody together. I don't care what their letter is.
It doesn't matter because they all drink together.
Until they give us clean food, clean air, and clean water, they shouldn't be allowed to discuss any other more complex issues.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say this. I 100% agree with that. But I'm going to say it's not to their benefit to have that happen. It's just not. It's not to their benefit to have that happen, because it's just if you gave everyone the same opportunity to make money, then you wouldn't have the super wealthy, you wouldn't have the super poor. We like the opportunity to make the super wealthy and to make the super poor, because then you have this party that can go over there and say, "See, vote for me because I take care of the super poor."
They both say that, and they're both full of crap.
No, they don't. The other party does not say that. The other part says, "Hey, you had the opportunity to come out here and make some money. If you didn't, that's your fault. And we drop kick you down the flight of stairs and we step over you and go take care of the wounded dog on the street." Either way.
Well, they all agree that we should send that money overseas instead of use it here.
But again, so
they all agree.
If we ever found out what the real truth is behind
they all agree that the most important issue today is banning TikTok. Not the fact that they're spraying us with chemicals, but let's ban TikTok. That's important.
Don't forget to follow us on TikTok.
Critically important.
YouTube, Facebook, Spotify. Follow us on all of the platforms.
I mean, and that's not why I bring TikTok up, but thank you for the plug. But banning TikTok, we got everybody in Threads. We got everybody in the House and the Senate to go vote on banning TikTok. But where's my clean water?
Okay.
Where's my water without poison in it so that your G-Pips can drink clean water?
So I watched a very relatable video this week. It was about a 20-minute video, and it was a cut about the woman who sued the baby food companies.
Okay.
For having metals and other poisons inside of baby foods, which has 100% been linked to all of the deficits that's been going on in these children in here.
Autism and
the whole spectrum, all of it.
All right.
And I think the trial was still going on at the time when I was watching the video. But I'm just like, wow, here we are. We can't even trust them to, if you can't trust them to feed your babies, your brand new infants, quality food, why do you think that they're willing to give away any profits to feed us? They're willing to cut corners to make these babies sick.
What if we get a sponsor that sells cows right off of their ranch? Ooh. That's what we really need, because that's what we're talking about. Now, you need a grass-fed cow and some eggs that haven't been bleached and manipulated, right? Because that's the only way you're going to feed your kids good food.
But right now, we're encouraging all sponsors to come forward. We're taking all sponsorship. We'll get the moral issues with it later on, because
how many episodes can they sponsor for giving us a half a cow?
Oh, that's at least 5.
Okay, so
let's start with
first sponsorship opportunity in kind. Send
like
us a half a cow.
Yeah.
And we'll eat the meat
right here on camera.
We'll eat the meat on a podcast.
Yeah,
I like it. We could even have the guys from Winners come over and test. They're food connoisseurs. They're calibres. They like food.
They do like to eat.
They like to eat.
So hey, listen, man, I'm with it. I think we can probably work that out.
Okay.
And we're going to figure it out. But I'm just saying, think about your kids. So now with this brand new grandbaby of mine that just got born the other day, I've already forwarded that story, and I'll send it to you. I forwarded that story to all of the kids, and I said, listen, fortunately right now that baby's going to be on breast milk, but for the other G-Pips that's already 3, they've already made it through that baby food stage. But I'm still encouraging all of them to make as much food as you can at home. Can we make baby food? Of course you can. Just blend up the carrots, blend up the bananas, blend up all of the stuff, food process it. That's all they're doing when it was clear just that. But now baby food have more than one ingredient. before it used to just say bananas. Now it's stabilizers and all this other kind of stuff, natural flavoring.
Which nobody has any idea what that means. They got bugs in your food.
So these are the things that's coming into pass here. So again, guys, make sure you try to do as much natural food as possible for you and your kids. It's just a smart way to live, so we can live and see how much more craziness politically we're going to be able to experience in this lifetime.
Well, it's like you said, we're kind of free from talking about politics for a while, right? It's the political season.
Political off season.
Political off season.
It's the political off season. So they're going to go back and train. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to wrap it up on that note.
That's a good idea.
But in the meanwhile, one time, again, I want to wish my brother here a happy birthday.
And to your grandson.
Granddaughter.
Granddaughter, excuse me.
Yes, my granddaughter, Miss Cameron. We're looking forward to meeting you.
Very cool. When are you going to see her?
They're actually going to probably come here in January.
Awesome.
So I'll wait because they're all the way across the country.
Got it.
So, but listen, man, I'm so excited.
Very cool. Excited. Congratulations again.
Yes.
All right, we'll catch you next week on Podcast Twins.
Boom!